What's up everyone, it's Kelly and today I've got another swatch review for you. So today we are talking about the latest from Cadillacquer, which is their Out of This World collection. And oh my goodness, I was so excited for these as soon as I saw the previews and especially when I heard the name. You may recall in the beginning of last year they came out with a planet/space themed collection that ended up being one of my absolute favorites of the year and of all time, and I had really high expectations for this one. But before we get into that, if you haven't heard of Cadillacquer before, they are an independent nail polish brand that is based in Switzerland, but they are available internationally, and all of their polishes are 5 free, meaning they are free of 5 of the potentially harmful ingredients that can be found in nail polish. They are vegan, meaning they do not use any animal derived ingredients, and they're also cruelty free, meaning they do not test their products on animals. So this collection features 10 brand new nail polishes, and we've got a variety of different finishes here. We've got 3 that are magnetics, 3 that are color changing thermals, and then we have 4 shimmer/specialty finishes. So definitely a lot going on in this collection, and like I said, super high expectations from me. So let me dive into the swatches, then we can talk a little bit more about my thoughts on them, where you can buy them, all that good stuff. So roll the swatch footage. All right, we're gonna dive in with the magnetics first because I've been in a little bit of a magnetic phase recently, and I was just super excited when I saw these bottles. So this first shade is called Solar Nebula, and it's actually really interesting unmagnetized. It looks like a duochrome between fuchsia and orange, so you get that nice little color shift, and it's just a nice mix of the cool and the warm shimmer in there. But when I magnetized this one, I was absolutely blown away by the color combo. So I ended up getting full coverage in 2 coats, but I applied a 3rd coat to magnetize, and instantly that background became this intense, deep, cool toned purple shimmer, and the magnetic pigment was this duochrome orange into golden yellow color, which absolutely blew my mind. I was so excited about this. It looks just so different and cosmic and beautiful, and again, I just love that little hint of warmth in there that gives it the solar kind of vibes. So of course I also tried it in the velvet style, and the way I did it was I just pulled all of that magnetic pigment to the top, so when you look at my nail from one angle you can see that duochromy shimmer, but then underneath you can actually start to see this hint of like pink into purple, and then at certain extreme angles it looks even more purple. So really cool color combo here. Then we have the shade Extraterrestrial, and this is another magnetic I was super excited about. Firstly because unmagnetized I could see a lot of green and purple in there, and if you know me, you know that those are my 2 favorite colors to wear on my nails, and this one was actually super opaque. I feel like I could get away with magnetizing the second coat just because the opacity was very easy to use, and normally I like to apply for full opacity and then do one final coat, but just for consistency's sake I did end up applying a 3rd coat and then magnetizing that, first in the cat eye style. And this was another color combo that simply blew me away. We actually have a duochrome on duochrome here. So the base color is this duochrome blackened shimmer that shifts between blue into fuchsia, and then on top of that we have the magnetic layer, which is a duochrome that shifts from yellow into green. So again, just super cool, super unexpected color combination, and really looking at the polish unmagnetized, I feel like I would never have expected that. So I thought that was really awesome. Again, just wanted to apply it for the velvet style as well, and like I usually do, I just pulled all of that greenish yellow pigment to the top, and then we got that little hint of the blue purple underneath, which was so cool. So as I move my nail around, it almost creates this really interesting natural gradient, which is just really fun. And again, I love that blackened sort of background. It definitely feels very cosmic to me. Then we have the shade Celestial, and this was another one I was super thrown by because this is just a gorgeous combination of shimmer and glitter in here. So we have this sort of slate blue base color with this whitish kind of magnetic shimmer, and then we also have these golden glitters throughout. And even unmagnetized, I thought this was gorgeous, but of course I had to magnetize it and see how it looked. And let me tell you, this color brought so much fantasy scenes into my mind. Like, this reminds me of every magical movie and TV show and book. I feel like it looks like the stars in the sky, but it also looks like, I don't know, like a magician's cape or something. I don't even know what I'm thinking of here, but it feels very fantastical to me. I love that the base color just kind of deepened and we got this navy blue base and then we got that shimmery white in the center. And I do think that this one, because it's not as much of a color shift as the first two, it looks a lot more subtle in the velvet style. So really it just ended up making the white shimmer look a little bit more sparkly on my nails, and then it kind of pulled all of the blue and gold to the bottom. But I still love this color combination. I think it's so gorgeous. So now let's move on to the color shifting nail polishes. So these are thermal. They change color based on the temperature. I'm going to use water, hot and cold water, to show you the color shift, but they just change based on your body temperature, based on the wind, if you're holding something warm or cold, etc. So this one is called Collapsing Clouds. We've got this beautiful vibrant blue jelly base. We have these iridescent pinky fuchsia flakies running throughout, and then we also have a silver flash reactive sparkle running throughout. And this one, despite being a jelly, ended up giving me really stunning coverage in 2 coats. I thought this was going to require a third, especially because in its warm state it's definitely a very light pastel blue, but it still didn't show any visible nail lines, so I thought that was really cool. Basically we have the left side is warm water and the right side is cold water, so you can see it shifted from that cool icy kind of blue color into this softer pastel kind of color, and it also really lightens up the way that those pink flakies look. They almost look a little bit more of like a peachy coral kind of shade, which I thought was super fun. Next up we have Otherworldly. This is another thermal color changing polish, and this one has a pretty drastic shift. So in its cool state we have this beautiful deep blackened purple kind of color. So we have this duochrome purple shimmer in there, and we also have a hollow sparkle in there, as well as I believe another flash reactive sparkle running throughout. It might actually be flash reactive hollow sparkle, not 100% sure, but when this one shifts into its warm state, it becomes this beautiful light blue base, but we still have that purpley pinky shimmer in there. So it gives a really stunning contrast. I just love when color changing polishes look so starkly different from each other. So I think this one is really cool. Speaking of really stark color changing differences, this is Lunar Eclipse. So in its cold state, this one is actually a super vibrant red jelly base. We've got these blue hex glitters in it in a bunch of different sizes, and then we also have these iridescent flakies running throughout that just kind of give an opalescent look. And as you can see on application, this one, as it got warm, turned into this stunning white base. Now I definitely could have gotten away with doing 2 coats. I probably will be wearing this one as a 2-coater, but when it comes to a white base, I always like to have a 3rd coat just because I think that it's going to otherwise show my visible nail line. But this color combo is absolutely stunning. I love the inspo for it. I love that really weird mix of like the red, the blue, the peachy iridescent, the white. This is just such a cool combination. This feels so classically Cadillacquer to me, having just like these very intensely different colors together and them just working out perfectly somehow. So now moving on to their regular shimmers, which honestly is a misnomer because these polishes still have so much going on in them. This first shade is called Alien, and we have this really beautiful soft purple jelly base that has a really intense greenish turquoise shimmer running throughout, as well as iridescent flakies. So like I said, there's a lot going on in here, and there's also a few different ways to wear it. I started off with 2 coats, so if you like that more sheer jelly-like look, I feel like that's perfect. It doesn't look patchy at all. It's very even and smooth across the nails, but if you want that base color and shimmer to be a little bit more intense, you can go in with another coat. So here's what it looks like in 3, and I just love that contrast between the purple and the green. It's such a fun color combo, and the little addition of the flakies just makes it all that more special. Then we have Supernova, which is another jelly sort of base, so it's actually more of like a very soft black jelly base, and then within that we have this really intense blue shimmer. We also have some pink iridescent flakies, and then we also have what appears to be a flash reactive sparkle, and I can't tell if that is silver or hollow. I did notice that there's like a little bit of hollow sparkle in there, but it might actually be 2 different things. It might be the hollow sparkle and the reflective sparkle. So really fun, definitely a lot going on in here as well. This one I personally wouldn't wear in less than 3 coats because 3 coats really packs a punch on the nail, and I think that's where you get the most intensity of color. But again, it's still pretty smooth on 2 coats, so if you want to wear it as a more sheer look, that also works. And then we have the shade Outer Space, and this one is actually a multichrome flaky polish, so you can see it's actually in a clear base, and then within that base we've got a ton of teeny tiny multichrome flakes that shift between blue into purple, and then around the edges you can actually see a lot more color. You can see a little bit of pink into red, and really depending on the angle you can almost see the whole rainbow, which is really fun. So I ended up needing 3 coats for full opacity on this one, but I feel like if you want to save on layers you can definitely sponge this one on. But personally, with types like these, I do prefer to just paint on 3 layers. I think it ends up working perfectly. The color is really stunning, it's very cosmic, and I don't know, I just love multichromes. And last but not least, we have the shade Infinity, which is definitely my favorite of the regular shimmers. So this is another clear base, and then within that we have a teeny tiny flaky multichrome that is personally my favorite type of multichrome, which is that black to red shift. But in addition to that, we also have what seems like very light blue flash reactive sparkle. So again, I started off with 2 coats and I did love the way that that looked, but I really wanted to see how intense this color could get, and I ended up with 3 coats and I absolutely love it. I love that that slight blue kind of cools down the color, but you can still see that beautiful red in there. And I do also think that this shade and the last shade, you could also just apply 1 coat over black or a dark color if you want to save some polish, but I just love the depth of this color. I think it's so beautiful. And here are all the polishes together. So we've got the magnetics on the top, we've got the thermal color changes in the middle, and then we've got the shimmers on the bottom. And oh my goodness, what a fun collection of colors. I just love all the different specialty finishes here. I think they're amazing. I love the color combinations, and I just love how much is in each color. Like even with the thermals, having those huge flakies that almost look opalescent in there, or having the addition of the flash reactive glitter when you're working with a multichrome flaky in the shimmers is just so fun. I love the way that they put together colors, and the formulas are really easy to work with, especially for being such specialty formulas. I always think that's very impressive, so really enjoyed these. But yeah, let's talk about it a little bit more. So those are the polishes, and as you can see, I absolutely loved these. Once again, Cadillacquer has truly knocked it out of the park for me. I just cannot get enough of their formulas. Their magnetics are always so special, and they're always color combinations that are just beyond anything I've seen before. Their thermals are always so reactive, and they're just such unique color combinations. I think that's what it is about Cadillacquer that makes them so special, in my opinion. They always end up doing these color combos that I just don't really expect, but once I see them together, I'm like, I would have never thought of that, but I absolutely love it. So I get especially excited when they do anything space themed, because I know they're going to do an incredible job, and I was right. They did an incredible job here. So now let's get into pricing and availability. Now, Cadillacquer is available from international retailers. It really depends on where you're getting them from and which country you're shipping to determine the price. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to list and link all of their stockists down in the description. You can check them out if you're interested. But all of these polishes are currently on pre-order. Now, one thing I do like to note with Cadillacquer is these polishes are usually a limited quantity and they're not always available after release. So if you are interested in any of these, I highly recommend grabbing them. Usually during pre-orders, the retailers will also have some previous collections as well. So I'll link my playlist of Cadillacquer polishes if you want to see my reviews of previous ones. But yeah, I'm so curious to hear your thoughts. What do you think of these polishes? Which is your favorite? And also, which type of finish is your favorite? Leave it all in the comments below. We can chat about it. If you enjoy my swatch and review videos, please hit that like button. It really helps me out. It lets me know I'm doing a good job. If you're not already subscribed to my channel, I would really appreciate if you could subscribe. I love you all, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye. This is a bad would you rather. Would you rather always feel tired or always feel hungry? Joke's on you, because I am always tired and I'm always hungry. In all seriousness though, I am pretty much always tired. I have actually started drinking caffeine again. I've talked about it for years in my fun facts at the end of videos that I don't drink any caffeine because I used to have really bad insomnia. Well, now I sleep a little bit too much and I'm always tired. So now I drink a lot of caffeine. And there is actually a reason for it. Don't worry, it's a medication that causes causes tiredness, but I am tired regardless. So I think I would rather choose to be tired and then I could eat and not feel hungry. So I think that's going to be my pick, but I'm curious to hear yours. So leave it in the comments and we can chat about it, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye.